shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
It still feels very comfortable this morning, but over the weekend, we're going to start to see things returning to at least closer to normal. I'll show you what it'll feel like.
I accept your nomination to be President of the United States of America.
In a speech that wrapped up just before midnight, Vice President Kamala Harris made history as she formally accepted the Democratic presidential nomination. The response from former President Trump with the election less than 3 months away.
And this year, a tool will be used in more Wake County schools that will help with student safety and security. The update parents will get today on an anonymous reporting system. Lots of things in motion here on our Friday, looking ahead to next week as well, and a lot of schools opening up. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Great to have you with us. Happy Friday, everybody. And we're happy to report that our nice temperatures continue today. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. I know we're cranking up just a little bit, but that's okay.
Yeah, and it's Friday, so hopefully you'll get a chance to get outside and enjoy it. And the weekend is actually going to be pretty good, too. It's going to be just a very gradual bump up in our humidity and our temperature through the weekend. But it still feels great out there right now. Our dew point sitting at 55. That, of course, a measure of moisture in the atmosphere, and that's a very low measurement. 59 is our temperature right now, so feeling pleasantly cool. It's 60 in Fayetteville, but 57 in Goldsboro, 56 in South Hill. Our temperatures are a little warmer than yesterday, anywhere from a couple of degrees to as much as 4 degrees. Not a big difference, but it is a sign of things to come as we start to warm up a little bit. Still, a very pleasant afternoon with high temperatures in the low 80s. I'll show you the pattern change, though, that brings us back into the 90s next week.
Good morning, Chris Lovingood here in the WRAL Live Center. I want to pull your attention to this video right here, just into the newsroom within the past 5 minutes or so. You'll see here firefighters, they're at this fire at a complex, an apartment complex, Driftwood Manor Apartments. This is on Teakwood Place. Right now, we know that Raleigh Fire has since, I believe, left the area, but we do have some video of these firefighters scaling the ladder going inside that facility that's there. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was there just before 3 o'clock in the morning, but the thing is, we're not quite sure if anyone was injured or how this fire was started. But stay with WRAL News as we work to get you that very information.
Tonight, friends and family of Kiera Massenberg and her 6-year-old daughter, Zoe Jones, will say their goodbyes. Their visitation begins at 6 this evening. Last night, loved ones celebrated their lives with a balloon release and vigil. Nearly 2 weeks ago, authorities say Daquan Jones shot Kiera and Zoe before turning the gun on himself. Jones left jail only the day before and was arrested for assault prior to that. As they grieve now the loss of Kiera and Zoe, loved ones have a message: look for signs of abuse. The funeral for mother and daughter is tomorrow morning.
Covering Wake County today, parents will learn more about an anonymous reporting app that will be used in more schools this year. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from Herbert Akins Road Middle School in Fuquay-Varina with how the app can help improve school safety. Kelsey, good morning. Renee, good morning. So this app is called Say Something, and some year-round schools in Wake County have already implemented this, including this school here, Herbert Akins Road Middle in Fuquay-Varina. And this morning, we'll get an update from school leaders about when this will be available to students across the district. Say Something is an anonymous reporting system. This will be used in addition to the district's anonymous reporting hotline. Students and staff can report various incidents that impact school safety: bullying, cyberbullying, drugs, weapons, even a planned school attack. The district is rolling out the program in phases. So year-round schools, some middle schools and high schools have already launched this last month. Traditional calendar middle and high schools will start to do the program early this semester. And Say Something will also be available for 4th and 5th graders at some point this school year. So Wake County is one of the last districts in our area to implement this. So this morning, we'll ask school leaders about whether or not they have a more exact timeline. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Fuquay-Varina.
Final night of the Democratic National Convention wrapped up just hours ago. You can see they're still cleaning up the United Center there. Vice President Kamala Harris pledged to be a president for all Americans. She made history, becoming the first black woman and South Asian American to accept the party's major nomination for president. Now, Harris kicked off the night by honoring President Biden. She shared personal experiences from her upbringing and record as a prosecutor. The vice president delivered her speech to a packed house of Democratic supporters, but she tried to reach her message past political barriers.
I promise to be a president for all Americans. You can always trust me to put country above party and self.
And when she finished her speech, she was joined on stage by her family and her running mate, Governor Tim Walz. Now the focus shifts to the first debate between Trump and Harris. That will happen September 10th.
Former President Trump responded to Harris's comment about Project 2025 in her speech. He disavowed the plan in a Fox News interview as the convention wrapped up.
They throw it out. A group of people got together. They did a thing. I haven't even seen it. I don't want to see it. I told them specifically, I don't want to see it. People know where I stand.
Trump and his campaign denied their involvement with Project 2025, though it was written by several allies and former Trump administration officials. Democrats have argued that Trump helped kill a bipartisan border bill so that he could continue campaigning on border security issues heading into November. Trump did tour the U.S.-Mexico border in Arizona. He reiterated his pledge to shut down the border and deport millions of illegal immigrants.
North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper delivered the final speech ahead of Vice President Kamala Harris's keynote address. He closed his speech with a rally for delegates from swing states like his own.
Are we going to fight? Are we going to vote? Are we going to win? You bet we are.
He also talked about Harris and his time working together as attorneys general for California and North Carolina. And Cooper was a potential vice presidential pick. He withdrew from consideration before Harris made her pick.
Today, the director of the CIA is expected to visit Cairo as Gaza ceasefire negotiations reach a critical point. Sources say he's expected to take part in ceasefire and hostage release talks this weekend. The visit comes after President Biden spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu about a ceasefire and hostage release deal Wednesday. And this week, Secretary of State Antony Blinken said these talks may be the last opportunity for a deal between Israel and Hamas.
Classes are back in session at UNC Chapel Hill, and protests have picked up as well. More than 100 pro-Palestinian protesters gathered last night with a renewed call for the university to cut financial ties with Israel. Back in the spring, protesters shut down the campus, and we saw tense moments when demonstrators took down the American flag. Police arrested more than 30 protesters then for reportedly violating university policy. As the war in the Middle East rages on, their demands remain the same.
It's a public institution. We can't see where they're invested in. It's despicable.
If the university is refusing to disclose, how much does it really have to hide?
WRAL Investigates team previously reported on the challenges of releasing this information, given how many categories money gets invested in. No arrests were made. WRAL reached out to the university in regard to the protest. We haven't heard back yet.
And breaking news, a serious crash has several lanes of an interstate in Raleigh shut down right now. WRAL's Heidi Kirk joins us live from the scene on I-40 East near the Garner exit. Heidi, there are several emergency crews responding right now.
Good morning, Renee. We arrived here just within the last 20 minutes or so. I'm going to step out of the way and give you a look at what we're seeing over here. It's quite a mess. You're going to see several law enforcement agencies as well as EMS responding here. We haven't been able to get any closer than this up to the scene, but we are hearing that 3 out of the 4 lanes of traffic are closed at this time. So if you're headed down I-40, you might want to find a different route because there could be some early morning traffic as this continues throughout the morning. Now, we're hearing this happen around 3:50 this morning, so coming up on just about an hour ago, or looking at the impact continuing now. Just to give you an idea where this is at mile marker 307 near Raleigh and near US 70. So if you're coming down this way this morning, again, you might want to find an alternate route. We're going to continue to stick in this area and provide you updates throughout the morning. Heidi Kirk, WRAL News in Wake County.
This morning, we'll get an update from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell about the economy. Powell is expected to speak during an economic summit in Wyoming. His remarks come as new data sparks some fears that the economy could soon enter a recession. Last month, the unemployment rate jumped to its highest level since October 2021. The Federal Reserve meets next month to consider a potential drop in interest rates.
Starting tonight, Football Friday is back for its 44th season. We will have highlights from about 25 high school football games from all around our area, plus some of the best sports reporters in the state. See if your touchdown and big play is shown tonight at 11:35 on WRAL. Security, we know, will be top of mind for school officials as we move into football season. A brawl broke out at last weekend's high school OT Jamboree. 4 games were scheduled to be played at Wake Forest High School, but an incident in the crowd had that stadium evacuated during the second game. The other 2 were canceled. Wake County school events already have security guidelines, including a clear bag policy. Items like diaper bags, small clutch-sized wallets, and medically necessary items like oxygen are still allowed. The search for a Virginia mother is underway after the disappearance more than 3 weeks ago. The charges her husband is facing this morning.
And 3 waterspouts appear off the coast of Florida. We'll show you the incredible video.
And we'll give you this live look at North Hills this morning. Good morning. It's going to be another nice day. Sunshine, temperatures in the 80s. Humidity low. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will tell us about our next chance, though, for some rain rolling in.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It's 4:44 and taking a look at a beautiful start this morning. 58 degrees in Wilson, 59 in Durham, and 60 degrees in Fayetteville. It's clear right now, but we may end up with a bit more cloud cover this afternoon than we've seen the last several days. Temperatures are going to feel great in the low 80s this afternoon, and our humidity stays nice and low like it has for the last several days. So get out and enjoy this beautiful Friday because things will start to change somewhat over the weekend. 56 in Southern Pines, 56 in Tarboro, 58 Irwin, 61 degrees in Goldsboro, and your exercise forecast. I mean, it really couldn't look much better. Just feeling great out there all through the afternoon. Our high temperatures will be in the low 80s. Coming up, we're going to talk about what's going to shift our pattern to bring us back to a more summer-like pattern and how long that might last.
Thanks, Elizabeth. In perhaps one of the most emotional moments of the Democratic National Convention, 5 people directly affected by gun violence took the stage to speak about their loved ones. Among them were Georgia Congresswoman Lucy McBath and several people affected by school shootings. Former Arizona Congresswoman Gabby Giffords and her husband Mark Kelly also took the stage to a standing ovation. Giffords was critically injured after being shot in the head at a political event in 2011.
Only on WRAL, we talked to Shaw University's president about Vice President Kamala Harris's historic candidacy. You may remember in 2020, Dr. Paulette Dillard hosted then Senator Harris at Shaw when she was on the Democratic ticket with Joe Biden. She says it was a big honor for her then with the candidate visit an historically black college, and it also made sense since Harris attended one herself, a graduate of Howard University. Dillard says this school year, the energy for Harris is already palpable on campus. She also believes Harris can emphasize with HBCUs facing financial struggles.
I think that the fact that she has that lived experience, it's easier for her to advocate on our behalf and not based on what she's being told, but what she's experienced.
Dillard says she would work with any administration, regardless of party.
The husband of a Virginia mother who has been missing for over 3 weeks has been arrested in connection with her disappearance. He was arrested yesterday morning outside of the couple's home, charged with concealing a body. The arrest comes one day after authorities executed a search warrant at the house. Mamta Bat has not been found yet. Police say she was last seen on July 27th at a medical center in Manassas. Her husband said he last saw her on July 31st at their home and reported her missing 3 days later. Police say he then stopped cooperating with investigators. Talking to reporters last week, the husband gave reasons for why he didn't want to speak publicly about the case.
I don't want to talk to the media, I don't want to be the bad person, hey, why you talk to the media without the person?
I don't think it would be bad just to say.
You don't think, but you don't know.
The charge that Naresh Bhatt faces means police have evidence that a body was concealed, not necessarily that a body was found. He will be arraigned this morning.
Several former St. Augustine's University faculty members are getting paychecks again. This comes less than a week after the school announced it secured a $7 million loan from a Durham-based venture capital firm. WRAL has reached out to the university to find out when faculty and staff will receive the rest of the money that they are owed and whether students are also receiving reimbursement checks.
This weekend, hundreds of female motorcycle riders will make their way to Raleigh. Tobacco Road Harley-Davidson is hosting the 2024 all-female ride. This is video from last year's event in Fayetteville. The main event gets started tomorrow with a police-escorted ride through Raleigh. Then the women will head back to Harley-Davidson for a street party with a DJ, line dancing, raffles, and more. Looks like a lot of fun, and the weather should be very nice. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. If you don't have a Harley, well, then roll those windows down and let that cool air in.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll do it right there. We are about to move into that sort of festival season that we have. We get into September, and we have a better chance of seeing some at least cooler, less humid air. And so kind of kicking that off here. Lots of things going on this weekend. This weekend, the weather is going to be nice for all of that. This is a live look at downtown Raleigh, where skies are clear right now. It is 59 and our dew point is 55, and so it feels very comfortable. Temperatures will climb into the mid to upper 70s by lunchtime. We have the top of the tower lit in blue this morning for those clear skies. Take a look at this. This is not clear. Carmen D'Amelio sent us this from Topsail Beach that she took on Wednesday. I want to say, so it's an amazing lightning strike there. I will say, I don't know if you can see it on TV. It's right there. We want to see your weather watcher photos, but just make sure that you are being safe when you do that. Just go to WRAL.com, search weather watchers, and drop those photos. We'd love to see them. 82 in Raleigh, 81 in Durham, 83 in Fayetteville. So another really nice day. Perfect weather for spending your lunch hour outside if you have that opportunity. Definitely hitting the good meter in terms of lunch outside. 88 is our normal high. So looking at 82 today. Now tomorrow we start to see those temperatures creeping up a little bit. Mid 80s Saturday and then upper 80s on Sunday. Monday and Tuesday we jump back into the 90s, and we may see that for a while, potentially into the holiday weekend next weekend. Our normal low is 68, and so we're definitely well below that for tomorrow morning at 59. And we don't really climb into the real sticky, oppressive feel until Tuesday morning. We'll hit 69 and then 72 for Wednesday. So through the weekend, if you're one of those folks who likes to get up and out, maybe to work in the yard or do a little exercise in the morning, both mornings should be okay. We're still looking at below normal temperatures for the next couple of days, but once we get closer to Sunday, we're near normal, and then next week we climb above normal as we see those temperatures jumping on up into the 90s. And by Tuesday, we're hitting steamy on the muggy meter, but today and tomorrow look pretty good. You might notice a pretty big jump in the humidity by Sunday, however, and the temperature jumps too. So in terms of the weekend, both days will be fine. Saturday might feel slightly more comfortable than Sunday. One of the things you may put on your list for the weekend is Packapalooza. That's always a fun festival there on Hillsborough Street. The weather's going to be really nice for that Saturday. Look at those 90s. I don't even want to look at the Wednesday, 95 degrees. We're back to a chance for some thunderstorms on Thursday. We'll talk about how long it's been since we've seen some rain and how those chances may go up for the holiday weekend coming up.
A family enjoying a sunny day in Connecticut got an unexpected visit. We will show you their quick thinking after a bear just wandered right through their front yard. Plus,
I'm just proud to be back. I'm proud to be a part of the 82nd.
The emotional homecoming for 200 soldiers at Fort Liberty. A popular celebrity chef heads to Netflix, and a rap superstar books her first award show hosting gig. Kristen Goodwin has those stories and more in the Hollywood Nation.
Domingo's First Looks, Lambert reaches icon status, and MTV recruits a host in the Hollywood Nation. You know who I am. Megan Thee Stallion will host MTV's Video Music Awards next month. This is the rap superstar's first time emceeing an award show. The two-time VMA winner is also up for 5 nominations, including Best Collaboration and Best Hip Hop. The ceremony airs live from New York's UBS Arena September 11th. Miranda Lambert will receive the Country Icon Award at the 2024 People's Choice Country Awards. The second annual ceremony will be hosted by Shania Twain and airs live from Nashville's Grand Ole Opry September 26th on NBC and Peacock. Gordon Ramsay will be at the center of his own docu-series. The show will follow the celebrity chef for 9 months as he works to open new culinary experiences in London's second tallest building, 22 Bishopsgate. Today's First Looks features Coleman Domingo's upcoming projects. Netflix released images and announced the premiere date for the limited series The Madness, starring the Oscar nominee as a media pundit fighting to clear his name after stumbling upon a murder. The thriller premieres November 28th. Domingo is also the executive producer for the Netflix thriller It's What's Inside, which shared its first sneak peek images and premiere date. The film follows a group of friends at a pre-wedding party, which turns into a nightmare when an estranged friend arrives with a mysterious game, which awakens long-hidden secrets, desires, and grudges. It starts streaming October 4th.
That was Kristen Goodwin. Uber and General Motors are partnering up to deliver driverless rides in some cities out there. It could happen as soon as next year. General Motors' own company, Cruise, is working to bring back its robo-taxi business. It stopped operating after it had, or last fall, I should say, after a woman was dragged 20 feet by a driverless Cruise vehicle. She had first been hit by a human driver in another car. At this time, we don't know any more details about the relaunch plans or terms of the partnership.
Hundreds of people gathered at Fort Liberty to welcome 200 soldiers after a 9-month deployment. The 82nd Airborne Division trained alongside NATO partners while increasing security forces in Eastern Europe. The division is back at Fort Liberty, but they'll be the first in line for another deployment in October.
A family in Connecticut had an unexpected visitor stop by this week. They were enjoying a day in their yard, sunshine, late summer, I should say, day. Suddenly, this bear just appears. Kristen Lee, who has the Ring camera there, captured the video. It says her 9-year-old son shouted "bear" and then ran inside. Everyone else followed. The bear casually just kind of looked both ways and crossed the driveway safely and then just moseyed it on out of there. Big guy, too. We have breaking news. We're covering out of Raleigh. A serious crash has shut down 3 lanes of I-40 East, and we have this live look right now of the emergency response.
And a funeral is happening today for a mother and daughter shot and killed. How family and friends are remembering them.